Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the main card of UFC 200 right now with Nick Kalikas from MMAOddsbreaker.com. And the rematch of Frankie Edgar and Jose Aldo is what we're going to talk about right now. Nick Kalikas, of course, in 2013, these two guys fought in a very competitive fight. The decision was controversial. Aldo, 5 years younger, got that one by decision. A little bit of a different sort of circumstance for each fighter coming into this fight, though, right? Edgar is really looking great. He's on a hot winning streak. Looks like he's in peak form despite being 5 years older than Aldo. And Aldo, of course, coming off of the big knockout Conor McGregor, pretty nasty concussion he got in that one. He's also had just a bunch of injuries over the past 2 years. So we might not see basically the same two fighters that we saw in the first fight. And despite Edgar being 5 years older, he might actually count as the fresher, younger fighter with quicker reflexes here. The odds, as you would expect, are almost close to dead even, although the edge has recently gone to Edgar. Right now I'm seeing Edgar at about minus 115 market wide and Aldo at about plus 100. Where'd you open this line, Nick?
Up in Aldo minus 130.
Okay.
So it did flip. And this is the kind of fight that's going to continue to flip back and forth. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised at all if it closes, again, Aldo minus 130, minus 120, minus 110 either way. Depends. 5 dimes has reduced juice. Could see minus 105, stuff like that. So it is going to be a true pick'em type of fight that'll probably keep on swinging back and forth a little bit.
All right, so heading into this fight, who do you think is the fresher fighter at this point in their careers, and who do you think might have slowed down or improved from their last fight? Because even though, giving it a once-over, you might think Aldo because he's younger and because he did win the first fight, certainly recent form would suggest that Edgar is in better shape.
He looks to be. I think that's pretty fair to say, but man, both of these guys have been in a tremendous amount of wars throughout their career, both of them. I mean, Aldo has had to defend that title a numerous amount of times. And obviously when you're defending the title, it's against the best in the division so he's faced great competition for several years. And he, up until Conor McGregor, he didn't lose. So he's been in a lot of wars. So even though he's younger, he's got a lot of mileage on that body for sure. But you could say the same thing for Frankie Edgar. I mean, the guy, I believe his average is over 15 minutes a fight. So that means he's, averaging like more 5-round fights than anything else. So title fights, main event fights. So he's got a ton of mileage overall on his body as well. Now he has looked a little bit better. He seems to have the mental aspect of the game down right now. He seems to have momentum on his side a little bit more. There's question marks with Jose Aldo as far as, just getting knocked out like he did with Conor McGregor. How's he going to react to the first devastating loss of his career? But I do think he's going to be a little bit more confident here. He knows that it was a competitive fight the first time he fought Edgar, but he won that fight. Edgar is not as big of a threat as Conor McGregor as far as pure knockout power goes. And he's not playing all those mental games that Conor McGregor played, that kind of came into mix. So I think this is, without being unfair a little bit, this is somewhat of a step down for Aldo fighting Edgar. Now, and I think that Edgar is the type of fighter that could beat Conor McGregor. I know that's crazy and a lot of people are going to disagree with that, but so I'm not knocking Edgar at all. I just say the situation and the pressure that he had in that McGregor fight compared to the pressure he has now, there's a huge difference. He could ease up a little bit more. So I think Aldo is going to be confident coming into this fight. I think he's going to believe in himself once again. His training camp supposedly went well, but so did Edgar's. We're hearing a lot of good reports on both sides.
Yeah.
Right now, the overall opinion seems to be that Edgar wins this fight. That's what's kind of scaring me a little bit, because originally I leaned a little bit more towards Edgar myself. Now, as the fight gets closer, I'm kind of flipping my opinion over to Jose Aldo, because there's just too many people that think Edgar's going to win this fight easily, or that it's his fight to lose now. And you know what? It's going to be a close fight. Aldo was the man for a reason. The guy is great. Both of these guys are great. So this is a true pick'em type of fight.
Yeah, and suffice to say, though, the books are probably going to take pretty much dead even action on this one, and no matter who wins, they'll make a little bit, right?
Yeah, I would say that's fair. They're going to get so much action on these fights. Yeah. So, there's going to be a lot of sharp action coming in both ways again on this fight as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if anything. Well, I take that back, because it will probably be even out, because I think that Edgar actually closes a slight underdog. I think that maybe it goes to like minus 120, like I said, minus 125 for Jose Aldo, closer to where I opened it. So it could be in that spot. And if that happens, we're still probably going to be fairly even.
All right, so maybe instead of digging and digging and digging to try to figure out who's going to win this fight, maybe the best way to look for betting value is just the total, right? The first fight went 5 rounds, went the distance, and right now the over 4.5 rounds is not a big favorite bet. It's just minus 117. Obviously, we know exactly why we could see an early finish, a knockout from either of these guys. But as far as betting value is concerned, maybe the best way to bet this one is just take over 4.5 rounds, just minus 117.
Probably. I think it does go to the scorecards. It's another kind of coin flip type of decision.
Yeah.
But I mean, 4.5 rounds with this much ability to finish fights from either side. I mean,
Sure.
both of them can do it. I don't know. It's a long time. And then there's the question marks that we're having here again with Aldo just getting knocked out. Edgar's not getting any younger. I mean, Father Time catches up with everybody. I mean, he seems to be okay, but he's been rocked in the past. He's been hurt in the past to the point where it didn't look good for him at times either for Edgar. So obviously he can get hit and kind of react that way. And Aldo can, if anybody can do it, Aldo has enough power obviously to do that as well. So it's a little scary, but out of anything, I would probably be a little bit more comfortable leaning on that over, like you said, 4.5 rounds, I think, because again, it doesn't matter who wins the fight, right? As long as it goes to the scorecards, and even if it is close, you're going to win that bet. So out of all of them right now, I would probably go that route. But it is a dog situation here. Whatever you're getting, if you're getting, I think, Aldo at even money, then there's probably value on Aldo at even money. If you're getting Edgar at even money, there's probably value on Edgar. It's one of those situations. Wherever the line kind of goes or floats to, I think that's probably where the value is, but it still will be difficult.
All right, well, this is a very interesting fight to watch. We'll see how it turns out. As far as a bet's concerned, I'm probably going to lay off it. If I had to make a bet, I'm kind of agreeing with you, Nick Kalikas. I was kind of leaning Aldo anyway, despite how good Edgar's looked recently. And now that the line has moved, I'd lean that way a little bit more. Right now, plus 102 is the line I saw at Pinnacle. That would be my pick for this fight, plus 102, although it's probably not enough for me to want to bet it. Again, yeah, if it went up to plus 120, maybe I'd actually pull the trigger on it. But at plus 102, I think I'll just pass. But that would be my lean here. Nick Kalikas, if you had to recommend, if you had to make one bet on this fight, side or total, what would it be?
Yeah, if either one of these guys gets plus money, like true plus money, like you said, 15, 20, whatever, that'd be great. Yeah, definitely take a stab at that. Overall, I think right now where it stands, like I said, maybe the total 4.5 over a little bit more. So minus 117, and you're kind of safer no matter who wins or what the crazy judges do in that spot as well. So probably a little bit more towards the over right now.
Nick Kalikas from MMAOddsbreaker.com. Thanks so much, as always.
Thank you.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.